In 24 hours, the Lynx return home to Perth, their WNBL season complete. Tonight, they want to finish on a high, but a finals-bound UC Capitals stand in their way. Welcome to Townsville. This is Thursday Night WNBL.
That's Townsville by night. What an outstanding venue and what an outstanding place it's been to be part of the Chemist Warehouse WNBL for season 2020. And tonight plays host to a doubleheader, and game number one is a very, very intriguing contest. As you just heard Megan say there, it's Perth's last game for the season. Could they be a little bit of a thorn in the side of Canberra on their way to the finals? Great to be with you, Jack Heverin, joined by Jenny Screen. And Jenny, it's a chance for Perth just to disrupt things. It's just when we're starting to make sense of the finals, Perth could make a bit of a mess of it.
They could indeed. I think they're playing for a little bit of pride tonight. They may be home tomorrow, but I think they can push Canberra like they did in round two. And obviously we know Jade Melbourne hit that 3 on the buzzer, so look out for a contest tonight. What
are you making of Canberra? This is the big question coming into tonight, I think, is what do we learn? We want to learn about all of our finals teams in this last round of matches. Where have you got Canberra right now?
To me, they're the dark horse. I actually think they're going to perhaps push Southside Flyers the most out of any team that is probably a contender. I love the way that Coach Goris has gone about it in terms of his rotations and has looked after his veteran players and also brought in some young youth and created some vibrancy within his team.
So here's the Perth starting lineup. For the last game under Ryan Petrick, they've been dominated all season long. Katie Ebzery and Darcy Garvin have been absolutely superb, but they've learnt a little bit about a couple of their young players along the way too. And Alex Sharp has been fantastic. 23 years of age. Looks like she's really starting to come into her own.
And she's from WA native as well. She's been recruited highly and comes out of the college system in America and also played in the World Under-23 team as well under Chris Lucas. And they've got some bench and depth, but can you imagine what the team would have been like with Semi Whitcomb? Completely different story, but no doubt they're playing for something tonight and hopefully it's a win.
And for the Canberra Capitals, they will be looking to bring some form into the finals as well and just have a polished performance. They lost 2 of their last 3 and they'll be pretty keen to get back on the winners list tonight. Their starting lineup, 3-guard rotation, which it seems to work pretty well for them.
It does. They're pocket rockets in the backcourt there with those three very young, and Maddie Rocci will make mention of her in terms of getting her first call up to the Opal squad for a camp in January, which is exciting. And then to have Mariana Tolo, an Olympian coming off the bench, is pretty exciting, and Brittany Smart is trying to find her form as well. But an out would be Talia Tukaya.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about Talia as the game goes on as well. A short time ago, Megan Huswaite caught up with a couple of tonight's prime movers.
Killy, a disappointing loss on Sunday to Townsville, but you've had a few days to regroup. What's the message been during the week?
Yeah, we took a lot out of that loss. I think, you know, we weren't where we wanted to be defensively and offensively, and there was a lot of things that they pushed us out of. So for us, it was just about reevaluating, going back, going over our offenses, but also defensively our principles as well. So we were lucky we could get a few good training sessions in, which is really helpful in a season like this.
Perth have been in some top form. How do you curb their impact tonight?
Yeah, Perth have been doing really well, and obviously that last game against them, we just got out alive on the buzzer. So we're definitely making sure we're coming in tonight switched on and making sure that defensively we're on point, but also then offensively that we're taking the right shots, because I think they're a really good defensive team.
Well, Alex, it all comes down to this, your final game of the season. Has it gone quick?
It's gone so fast. It's crazy to think that we're here already. I feel like, you know, about 2 months ago we were like, are we even going to have a season? And now it's finished, but it's been a great experience and really been enjoying the hub life. So
the loss to Sydney the other night aside, you've been in some great form. How much do you want to end it all on a high tonight?
Oh, yeah, well, that was heartbreaking, that loss. I feel like we'd been playing so well and we just couldn't get shots to drop. So tonight, obviously, we want to go out with a bit of a bang and keep going with good form. It's always nice to beat Canberra, but they're obviously a very talented side, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Keely Froling and Alex Chibatoni talking to Megan a short time ago. I'd imagine for Perth, Jenny, they probably want another 3 or 4 rounds. The back end of the season's been really good for them.
They've been exceptionally well. They've won 3 out of their last 5 games. They've pushed a lot of teams, to be honest, throughout the whole 5 rounds of this season, but they just haven't got the scoring power to get them over the line. But tonight, I think they can take confidence considering that round 2, they pushed the UC Caps, the defending champions, to the wire there. So they've got nothing to lose, do they, Jack?
They can just go about their business and have a bit of fun doing it as well. Perth's last 4 games. On Tuesday, they lost to Sydney, as you just heard Alex say there, in the heartbreaker by 3 points. They beat Adelaide by 2 points last Sunday. Last Friday, they beat Townsville. That's a big scalp in their season. And last Tuesday, they beat Bendigo 95-79. There's a lot to like about that form line.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully they take that confidence into this game.
Okay, wait for it. So underway, Thursday night doubleheader. The Flames and the Flyers are up next. But it's Canberra away quickly.
I think no one knew which end they were meant to be going then. A bit sloppy on that first play there.
I think the only one that knew was Maddie Rotsey. Everyone else stood around.
Including me. I was wondering which way she was supposed to be going.
Are we going that way? Yes, we are. Down low. Early bucket for Alex Sharp. We spoke about the season that she's had and how important she's been for Perth. She's a player of the future, no question about that. Froling just inside the key, then drives. Good move. Wasn't able to finish off. Chibatoni with the rebound for the Lynx in their last game of WNBL 20. There's Chibatoni at the seal down low. Did enough, but she also couldn't finish. And the scraps on for the loose ball.
And when we talk about the matchups for tonight, that's probably going to be the advantage in the guard rotation, is they've got a bit bigger guards compared to the UC Caps in Chibatoni and obviously Alex Sharp we saw in the first 2 points, the post-up. So it'll be interesting to see how the UC Caps handle that inside.
And definitely looking to get it down low. Here's Steindl with a good move for 2 more. There's an early tactic from Ryan Petrick. The Capitals will need to come up for an answer for that. Griffin. She went hard, but Garvin went harder. It's been all Perth in the first minute and a half. Chibatoni gave a bit of a push off there on Cabillo. Referee says, play on. And Chibatoni at the elbow with 7 on the shot clock. Pulls up for a nice make.
That's called shooting from the heavens. The arc on that shot was almost Christy Harrow-esque there from Alex.
So Perth 6, Canberra yet to get on the board. They haven't, full credit to Perth's defence, haven't really been able to be fluent so far offensively. Froling catch and shoot. That's good.
That'll allow them to breathe a sigh of relief, I think. I was watching their warm-up, to be honest, at the start, and you know, as a coach, I don't really look into too much warm-ups, but some do, and it was a bit lackluster from the UC Caps in terms of their focus in their warm-up towards the start of this game. So it'll be interesting to see if that's played for them at the start of this.
And there's Darcy Garvin with the response. 4th in the competition for 3 points made this season. Such a threat. Melbourne with the reverse layup. The find just as good. And Canberra with the immediate response. Now the game's gone up a notch. Ebzery dumps it out. Sloppy pass for Sharp, who gave it up. Melbourne's in the open court, has Froling with support, and she's fouled on her way to the basket.
That's one thing the Perth Lynx have to be careful of with when you're coming up a team like the UC Caps. Turnovers down one end just means possible points down the other. They're too good, too clever, and that was one of the defining factors in their game in round 2, that the points off turnovers was pretty crucial in terms of the win for the UC Caps.
Keely Froling makes the first. 5 rebounds a game to go with her 9 points a game this season. Such a versatile player for Paul Goris. It's back to 2 points the difference. Steindl a long way from the cup. And you can see again, they've got multiple options in the post. They just can't find them. Sharp, tough finish.
Took the words out of my mouth there, Jack. Tough. tough. It's nice to see another Australian junior come back in. I spoke before the game, you know, played in the gold medal team at the World Uni Games under Chris Lucas and is relishing her opportunity in her first year as pro.
That'll be off target from Froling. She was huge on Tuesday. Alex Sharp, 11 points on 5 of 9 in their their loss against Sydney. She went a long way to helping them towards victory. Shibatoni can't knock it down. The ball's moving through plenty of sets of hands for Perth. There's a good drive from Maddie Rocci. Perth very quickly get up the other end. Steindl. We don't see Kayla Steindl fire up too many from deep. Nothing wrong with that.
She may not do it often, but she's known very well for being able to drain the long shot, especially for someone of her size. So good to see her getting her confidence early in this first quarter.
10-42 now from outside the arc this year. So she's probably jacked up a few more than what I thought. Griffin with room. You can't leave a player that good, that open. Her first points of the night. Let's get down to Megan.
There's a familiar face on the Caps bench. It's their hub team manager, Gemma Potter, championship player from last year. She hasn't been able to go off to college, but she is playing the role of team manager in the absence of the legendary Barb.
I'd be pretty happy to sub Gemma Potter in at some stage, I'm guessing. Steindl blocked. Nice long arms from Froling. And Melbourne off to the races. She'll call off the chase. Griffin can swing to Cabillo. And that's in and out. So Perth retain their 2-point lead. 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Shibatoni picks up her dribble. Now Steindl in the low block. Back to Shibatoni. Closely guarded by Jade Melbourne. Fantastic defense, but the pass, superb. Had Garvin cutting to the basket and found it.
That's what I've liked about Perth in this opening 5 minutes is they're just moving quite nicely around each other, inside, outside game, and those cuts, they're being able to find each other.
3 assists already for Alex Shibatoni. Griffin finds the bottom of the net. She's 2 of 3 now for her 5 points. And a foul called. Go back to when the two teams played earlier in the season on the 26th of November, which wasn't that long ago. 21 points, 12 rebounds for Kelsey Griffin that night.
Yeah, she was exceptional that night, and considering she'd been a bit quiet in the first round and had a few injuries to take care of in round 1, but it was nice to see her get back to her old MVP form in that game.
Taya Burrows subbed in. Alex Shibatoni will sit down. Ebzery combines with Garvin. Off the window, it didn't work. Canberra again looked to push the ball. Roof working hard underneath. Did everything but finish. Canberra should come up with it here. Smart let it go out of bounds, and it was last touch by the Lynx.
Nice little poise play here and some great footwork shown by Roof, and obviously the unfortunate miss, but that's what I like about the UC Caps. They've got some great role players, especially coming off the bench, and that was one thing that was huge for them in round 2 against the Perth Lynx. So they had 39 points off the bench as Darcy Garvin has called for an interesting foul.
Well, she'll say that was all ball. Let's see the body contact. Yeah, maybe just the arm reaching over, Jen.
We'll have to see that again in slow-mo. Different angle for me. You know, it's almost easy for us to sit here in slow-mo and make a decision, but in real play it can look completely different to the referees. But Maddie Rocci definitely, I think, got the better of the call there. She's
been in good form. 19 points on Sunday in the loss to the Fire. 18 points on Friday night in their win over Adelaide. She's a star of the future at 22 years of age.
Yeah, and she's a good size. You know, last year I thought she came into the league a bit underdone, wasn't as fit as she could have been, and it took a while to get going, but now she's come in fighting fit and exceptionally came out of the gates really well from round 1, and it's exciting to see her because I love that robust size. She's almost got that Chrissy Hara-esque about her in terms of the ability to play the way she does.
And there she is. She must have heard you talking. She's top 10 in the competition for points scored this year. That goes a long way towards helping the cause. And Canberra take the lead for the first time in this game. It's Burrows, left-hander. Garber now will have to get creative. Shot clock at 5. She's guarded closely by Ruth. She throws up a prayer. And Canberra stand up defensively. Smart baseline. She'll bring it back out. She hard landing there. Another one that's been really handy for them off the bench, Brittany Spark.
Yeah,
10 points last Friday against Adelaide, which was a season high for her.
Yeah, and again, she missed out a couple of games in round 1 and has battled injuries, you know, not only this season, but obviously last with Sydney as well. But again, another role player within this UC Caps team, and I think that's the difference for them when, if they're going to push the Southside Flyers or the Melbourne Boomers perhaps, is those role players doing exactly that, like Smart, they're draining the long 3, coming off the bench, being ready, and Paul Goris having the trust in his players to be able to do that.
That's the shot of a player in form. Canberra 4 of 6 from deep. Ebzery found her way inside, but couldn't get it to go down, and Ruth with the rebound. Got so many options that they can use, Canberra. Bench depth that you were talking about, Jenny. Ruth left open. Hits the front of the rim. That was last touch by Canberra. Thought it was off Taya Burrows' hands. We'll go with the official. See Emma Clark there getting some early minutes. 20 years of age, a young Perth product, a young WA product. That's one thing the Lynx have done really well, is give opportunities to young Western Australian basketballers this season, as Ebzery's fouled.
And I like that. I think it's really important that you try and blood the youth of your own state. And you know, it's been hard for Perth. They had a few tough years there, and getting people to go over to the West to be able to play. But Perth is a beautiful part of Australia, and nice to see some youth coming in that is the WA native. Because back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s, the Perth Lynx were a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Chibatoni back into the game. She's doubled up. Found her way through that. Ebzery stepping back against the shot clock. Lovely.
Tough shot. Only her second look at the rim for the night on her 300th game. Nice to see her draining that one to start her off.
Good hands from Eisenbarger. Gets it out of bounds. So 90 seconds left in the opening quarter. Quality basketballer, Katie Ebzery. Another milestone recently. She just keeps racking up these milestones in the WNBL. Ruth likes the look of the 3 ball. Chibatoni with the strong rebound. Perth can tie it up on this possession if they wish. There's Jewel Williams, another young Western Australian, to another Western Australian in Jessie Edwards. Williams puts the ball on the floor. She slips over and loses the handle. Melbourne looks to take on Ebzery. Smart won it back. Good hustle, and Tolo uses her long arms to her advantage. Nice hustle play, Caps. Now Ebzery throws it away. Melbourne, dynamic. How good was that move? So quick.
They tried to ice her on the pick and roll and push her back baseline and did an exceptional job, but she just read the play really well there, Jade Melbourne. Such great IQ for someone of her age.
Yes, I know we say it a lot, but she is 18. So much talent at her disposal. Edwards worried out of it. Good D from Tolo. And Canberra will get the last look at the opening quarter. It's Cabillo. Shot clock winding down, game clock winding down. Her pass intercepted. And it broke down towards the end of the quarter, but Canberra took control. At one point, they trailed by 6. They'll take a 7-point lead into quarter time, 26-19 on our Thursday.
We've been doing a few of these, and we've given some burgers away, so keep an eye out at the end of each game. 100 points, and you get a free Big Mac tomorrow.
Really well there. Both teams are shooting at over 50% clip, and it's just the points off turnovers. 6 points off turnovers for the Capitals really hurts the Perth Lynx, and the Perth only have 3 turnovers. So if they can just look after the possession of the ball a little bit and curb the impact of Maddie Rocci, I think we've got another good second quarter coming our way.
Big block by Steindl on that last play too. On Mariana Tolo, who's normally the one doing the blocking in this competition. Chibatoni may have to get this up herself. Garvin, quick release. The shot clock, the enemy of Perth there. Melbourne going to work on Clark. Good defense though. She stood up to the challenge. Alex Sharp with the rebound. Now there's the mismatch that they want down low. Garvin had the seal and she couldn't cap it off as well.
Unfortunate. It was a good option. It took a while to get there, and lucky the pass paid off, but no points for them. Perth Lynx in the disadvantage there.
So up and back, but neither team finding the bottom of the net so far. Let's go to Megan courtside. She was listening in at quarter time.
Canberra really had...
We might have just lost Megan for a second. We'll get back shortly. Sharp. Muscles in the 2. 3 of 3 for the night for Alex Sharp. Breaks a little mini run that Canberra had going into quarter time as well, but they're straight back to their work through Kelsey Griffin.
Nice little left-hand drive there by KG23. I think Darcy Garvin, you know, she's also in the Opal squad for the Perth Lynx, and with the upcoming camp, there's probably one area of her game that needs to go to the next level is her ability to contain and defend on the perimeter, to push potentially for a call-up, whether it be Tokyo or a World Champs team in the years to come.
Perth lost the ball off that play. It's Kayla Steindl. A late signing. Only put pen to paper at the end of October, just with, as we mentioned, a couple of players, Sammy Whitcomb being one that, through family circumstances and travel circumstances, Perth lost a couple of players that they originally had commitment from. Sammy's got bigger things on her plate at the moment, though. Chibatoni now wants to get busy. She'll take on Brittany Smart one-on-one. Backs in. Did enough.
She uses her body well for a young South Australian guard, having played a couple of seasons now for the Perth Lynx, but not quick of foot speed, but has the ability to just use her size over the smaller guards very well.
Rolling back out there with a good finish as well. I think we've got Megan back courtside now.
I'm back. Canberra happy with their D in that first quarter. Great to see Kelsey Griffin getting around Jade Melbourne with some words of encouragement. You couldn't ask for a better mentor in your side than KG23.
Yeah, and there she is again on cue. Thank you, Megan. No look pass to Froling. That was touched off Perth hands and then off Froling's hands.
You see here, nice disruptive hands, and KG finds herself just in the lanes to be able to pick off that pass, but unfortunately a turnover themselves. See Perth Lynx back with the ball.
30-23. Melbourne fighting hard. She's getting better and better defensively every week. We know how good she is offensively, Jenny, but it's the little things like that that she's adding to her game.
Yeah, she just plays with a sense of freedom, and we've heard Coach Goris talk about, you know, I don't coach her, I just let her play, and it's nice to see her. She plays with effort and heart, but also has the IQ and tenacity to go with it.
And one play for Rochi. Canberra starting to get busy now.
Okay, one shot here.
11 points and 6 assists when they played earlier in the season. It's been a model of consistency, Maddie Rochi. So this 3-guard rotation, Jenny, we spoke about it when we got the starting 5s in off the top of the match tonight. Do you like it?
I do. It allows them to be up the floor a little bit more, be a little bit more disruptive. But they do give up, obviously, the post up inside. But these guards aren't tiny in terms of size. They're strong, robust guards. So that, you know, they can hold their weight in terms in the post. But I like it, and obviously Paul Goris does as well, to be able to leave them out there as much as he does.
Second shot opportunity here for Perth. It's Griffin, active hands again. She's disappointed she couldn't come up with a steal there.
I'd love to see Perth Lynx get Katie Ray Ebsbury in a little bit of pick and roll action, whether it be from the top or the wing, just to get her into the game a little bit more. I don't think she's had many looks, considering she's averaging 17 points or thereabouts per game.
There's Ebsbury, as you asked for. That one's deep. Now Rochi marshalling the point for the Caps. Still plenty of time on the shot clock here. Griffin gave it up to Froling, who thought about giving it up. A smart step back 3. Got it again.
Tough find. Keely Froling putting on the floor when she probably should have just done a kick straight there to Brittany Smart, I should say. But Darcy Raman closing out with that length, with that nice little step back, as we see there in the replay, allows Britt Smart to drain another 3 from deep. I think it was deja vu too, right? It was. Spot before.
Very similar spot. 6-2 to play in the second quarter. And it's Canberra now who lead by 13 points. They've got one more game to come for the season, the Caps. They'll play the Flyers on Sunday. Let's have a listen to Paul Goris.
Run and down screen Kelsey's man, so it might be high or it might be low. Kelsey's coming into that, okay? But instead of coming to a ball screen, I want you to throw it and get a hand back, okay? This corner person, get out and clear, okay? So if they go down this way, Kelsey, you're going elbow or fill in behind. So down twist, a hand back.
Is that a guard?
Yes, guard coming off the down screen.
Normal down, this stuck in and seals
Yeah, here we go, so down twist, here we go. Yeah, so hand it back, and then that person, hand back, and then down screen.
It's a great blend they've got, isn't it? They've got the exciting youth of Cabillo and Maddie Rochi and Jade Melbourne that we spoke about as well, but then you add in the experience of Kelsey Griffin. Brittany Smart's been in the league and played a lot of basketball for a long time as well. Even Keely Froling for 24 is quite experienced.
She is. I mean, she's had a couple of years now and played a pivotal role for them last year in terms of pushing for that finals. And I think the 3x3 type of game has really enhanced what she has to offer in the 5-on-5. And And I think Coach Goris has just given her more and more time, and she's just taking those opportunities the best she can. And then you got Mariana Tolo as well, who we haven't seen much of tonight, and probably resting up knowing that they've got one more game after this one in the round 5 before they face the finals.
Griffin pulls up for 2. Good look, misses, but Smart in the right place. She didn't finish, Griffin did. Canberra having a very good quarter. Chippertoni worried out of it by Melbourne. This lead's starting to become pretty alarming for Perth. Griffin, she's blocked by the long arms of Garvin. Good defensive possession there for the Lynx.
It was great length by Garvin. She does that very well and has created the turnover. We can see her here. Just manning up and bodying up on Kelsey Griffin, and just the fumble to force the turnover. But Perth Lynx need to get the ball through hands, get some movement going like they did in the first quarter, get a good shot to hopefully crawl this lead back a little bit more.
Burrows is fouled. She's got free throws to come. She's all smiles as well, Taya Burrows. Another young Western Australian talent from Bunbury originally. We've seen some really good signs for her with the minutes that she's got this year.
And you've got to think for the Perth Lynx, even though their season hasn't gone to plan and they don't have the studs that they wanted or recruited, it's only going to help them in the years to come with these girls getting the opportunity that they're getting right now, not only in terms of their development, in terms of skill acquisition, but just confidence to be able to know, yeah, I belong in this league, and I'm going to push and continue to play this game.
Froling, good take. Couldn't convert. Chippertoni likes to get down low. She does again, but she's got herself too far under the basket. Melbourne into Froling. That's where she's at her best.
Got to love that by the Caps. That went through 4 people's hands, a bit of penetration, inside, outside, and just finding an open player. Whereas, unfortunately, down the other end, it's just one pass and shot right now, and that's just hurting the Perth Lynx, especially on the scoreboard.
Rochi gets creative to Britt Smart once more from outside the arc. 9 points on 3 of 3. Perth have opened this game right up now. Timeout called with 4 minutes before half-time. Britt Smart. She can't miss, quite literally.
She can't indeed. It was nice by Maddie Rochi. And then you had Keely Frawling running the middle lane really well, which detracted or attracted the defense and allowed it that kick out to Britt Smart, who's nailing it from deep. So why wouldn't we keep shooting?
Is playing against the point guard, whoever that is at the time. Again, dribble her down into the action, and then again, screen it, slip it. We're playing 4 out, 1 in. We good. Next time down the floor. Again, getting head on rim. So we need to get more action at the rim, especially the post-up series. Like again, first quarter we get 4 or 5 post-ups, 8 points. We've barely seen it since. Again, I don't mind the one-on-one drive against a small guard. That's fine. They'll eventually make a call there at some point. I know. But again, we can't stop playing. We've got to keep going with this. We good? Let's play again.
Yeah, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Legs, here we go.
Always going right.
Yeah, every.
So the takeaway there, an interesting one, that early in the game they went down low, they were scoring from it, and Ryan Petrick's right, we've hardly seen that since about halfway through the first quarter.
No, sometimes, you know, whether it's I've got to get my own, bit more selfish inward kind of play, or they just lose their way through a little bit of fatigue and turnovers and they get flustered on the defensive end. But good points all the same, and hopefully we see that from them perhaps in this next play. Get the ball inside. You see Caps have those 3 small guard rotations, and that's where they're going to be able to dominate.
Part of that is getting Kayla Steindl back out on the floor. A little bit of confusion coming from the bench.
Back here, we got 4:02.
I think we're all good, though. It's a Thursday night doubleheader. Up next, the Flames and the Flyers. The Flyers will be looking to lock away that top spot with a win against Sydney Uni. So now they go to the low block, and they draw a foul on Cabillo.
And Katie's got to look to do that. She's smart enough, she's strong enough, she's got the height against these smaller guards to just give and go, drop down low, find the younger guard and smaller guard on her back, and then just go to work. And then you can see Kelsey Griffin coming in for the double team. Then you find the open player.
Let's go to Megan Huswaite, courtside.
Scouting's been a bit different in the WNBL hub, with coaches able to come and watch their opponents before they play them. It was interesting to see Paul Gorris and Cheryl Chambers here on Tuesday night watching Perth and Sydney play, and Cheryl's just taking a look before they take on Sydney tonight, of course, with Canberra in mind for a very exciting matchup on Sunday afternoon.
Yes, that should be a very, very intriguing way to finish off the regular season.
And this game's really important, Jack, for the UC Caps. We know that, you know, as we see the Perth Lynx here drain another long three, very needed points on the board for the Perth Lynx. But in terms of finals and perhaps a second opportunity in finishing second, this is a big game for the UC Caps, because they still have a couple of teams behind them, the Boomers as such, that they can't afford a loss.
We've basically got our top four now. It's just a question of who finishes where. As I mentioned, it's Rochi. Points are good. One to come. Dynamic off the dribble.
She's indeed has a way to be able to weave in, find the open gaps. Just lackluster again. We see Darcy Garvin closing out poorly, allowing her to penetrate middle and find the easy way to the bucket.
She makes the extra as well. Leads all scorers with 13 points, Maddie Rochi. With a couple of rebounds and 3 assists. Chibatoni, quick release three. He's deep. Steindl did okay. Sharp did just as good to keep it alive. Ebzery falling away on Cabillo. Hits the front of the rim. 46-27. Canberra in control of this one. Tolo on some managed minutes tonight, off the window.
Simple yet effective and classy basketball is Mariana Tolo. Just getting the job done. Nothing fancy about that play, but just finding her opponent on her back, taking her to the middle, and then a nice little reverse finish there.
Garvin. She misses out. You can hear the frustration there. She knew that was a good opportunity. Tolo with her first rebound of the night. Here's Abby Cabillo. Rattles in and out, and Tolo kept it alive. Canberra can start again. Tolo from just inside the line. Stops the play at one end, scores at the other. Now rebounding. She's having a good few minutes, and Canberra having a really, really good second quarter. Got this high-low game working beautifully. Tolo will settle for another two. This time misses out. Michaela Roof on the glass. Just tough, hard work. Comes up with the rebound.
Great second efforts there by the UC Caps, and Roof is a classic in going to the glass well on every shot for the UC Caps and finding herself the leather ball there. And it's been a hurting quarter for the Perth Lynx that I think will want it to end very quickly. 8 points to 24 in the second. Their shots aren't dropping from the offensive end, and yet at the same time, they're not locking down on the defensive end. UC Caps are heading for a 100-point ball game, and that's nothing to hold your head high up about.
Second in the competition this season for offensive rebounds, Michaela Roof. Another example of the depth that we keep talking about that Paul Gorris has at his disposal. Ebzery. It's been a bit quiet in this first half. Steindl's tried her hardest. That's very good.
Tough, especially against the length of the 6'5" Mariana Tolo, to be able to finish with a nice little crafty right-hand reverse on the left-hand side. Well done there, Steindl.
Last minute of the second quarter. Sharp might have given a slight push off. Official allows it to go on, and then Ebzery draws contact. Still room to move for both teams. Their foul situation in this quarter. Maddie Rocci sits down. Jade Melbourne comes to the bench too. Brittany Smart back into the match for the Capitals. Has 9 points. There's the Flames. They're up next. Alison Schwagmeyer-Belger, the Bogue sisters watching on. I'll take on the Southside Flyers. Steindl thought about getting it away. Instead, shares with Ebzery. Shot clock at 3. Tough 2. Hand in the face. Britt Smart just did enough. And he comes up with the rebound herself. Huge opportunity now for Canberra to finish off this quarter with emphasis. Roof for the deep 2. They are beyond 50 at the half, the Canberra Capitals. As Garvin came crashing in late, they might get a chance to add even more to that.
I hope Burrows is okay there, as Cabillo and her just a little bit of a clash.
Yeah, just a...
Or Roof, actually. But this end of this second quarter can't come quick enough for the Perth Lynx in terms of the way they've played. They came out well in that first quarter. We were excited by that first 7 minutes, and then it's just been a downward trend, unfortunately, for them.
It has. Unfortunately, we've just got a slight issue with our feed coming from Townsville at the moment, so we do apologise. As you can imagine, this is a COVID year and things are challenging, and it's the first time all season that we've unfortunately lost our broadcast. So we will have that back for you very, very shortly. Again, we do apologise, but it's just a reminder, hey, it's 2020, Jen.
You get you and I, Jack, and we just got to adapt and improvise and find a way like we have all year. And it's nothing new for the Melbourne folk to be able to adapt. So we'll do our best here for you.
We are coming up to halftime in that game, so we'll have the halftime score for you very shortly. But again, sincere apologies. We've lost our link between here and Townsville. Let's have a look at the ladder. We've spoken about this a lot in the first half. This will tell the story in that we've basically got our final four with Southside, Canberra, Melbourne and Townsville. It would take a miracle for Adelaide to get there from here. It's just a question now of who finishes where. Exactly, and who wants that second chance. That first and second position gets that elusive second opportunity if they lose that first semi-final. We know that the Melbourne Boomers have Townsville and Bendigo in their last 2 games, and obviously the UC Caps have Perth tonight, and they finish with Southside Flyers at the end of this round. And then Townsville might be a cheeky fall-in if Canberra and Melbourne drop both. They've got Adelaide and Melbourne for their last 2. Well, the potential that we could have is that when Melbourne and Townsville get together on Sunday afternoon, there's a chance they could play each other again, depending on situations. It's probably unlikely, but that is a possibility as well. Let's get back to Townsville now. Closing stages of the opening half of basketball. Again, we apologise for some technical issues coming from Townsville, and there is the halftime siren. So it's Canberra very much in control, 53-29. We missed one bucket there, but other than that, we didn't miss a great deal. What we didn't miss in the first half, Jenny, particularly in the second quarter, was Canberra really putting their foot down. They did. They've done an exceptional job. Everyone that's entered the court has put points on the board and done an exceptional job there. And unfortunately for the Perth Lynx, there's not much to be said of that second quarter. They'll have to go into the change room, have a good look, both offensively and defensively, at their structures, because a 10-point quarter and a 27-point on the other end just isn't good enough at this level. Yeah, it explains the difference between the two teams. Part of the reason why there's such a difference is between the two teams is the form of Brittany Smart. She's with Megan Huswaite.
Well, Britt, some important minutes for you tonight, but also some of the other bench players. How crucial is that heading into finals?
I mean, I think it's something that the Cats have always done, actually, is rotated, trust, believe, the next man up mentality, and we're continuing that in this game as well.
The other thing you'd be pleased with is the D and keeping them to under 30 points in the first half. How can you build on that after half-time?
Continue what we're doing. We're actually just sticking to the scout. It seems so simple sometimes, but we're really executing well. We're trusting each other, even on the defensive end, which has been huge.
It's funny what happens when you stick to the scout. Thanks, Britt, and good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Meg.
Brittany Smart has been crucial for Canberra in the first half. So here are our Chemist Warehouse highlights from this first half, Jenny. Perth got away to a really good offensive start to the game.
They did indeed, but on the backs of Steindl. Sharp was good in those first couple of minutes, and then obviously Chiabatoni as well. But then the UC Caps, as we know, you never underestimate them. They are the two-time defending champion here in the Chemist Warehouse WNBL, and it's off the backs of the season that Maddie Rochi's having right there. And when you've got the likes of Brittany Smart coming off the bench, draining the long threes as she has been, and she talked about it. Paul Goris trusts us. He puts us in, we rotate, it's the next person up mentality, and that's the exciting brand they have. And they want to continue those momentum if they're going to push those Southside Flyers girls.
And it's no coincidence here that our Chemist Warehouse highlights from the first half, the scoring is being spread from Canberra.
It has indeed. I mean, Maddie Rochi is leading the way with 13 points, but then closely followed by Froling with 9, Griffin with 9, and also Brittany Smart off the bench with 9 as well.
So 53-29, the Capitals have opened it up in Townsville. The halftime show is coming up next.
Queensland. It's the only place in the world where both of Australia's Indigenous cultures meet, and it's pretty evident from what we just saw there that the connecting with nature is best experienced through the eyes of our traditional owners who have used their knowledge of thousands of years. Spend a day or two exploring and you will leave a little bit different. Halftime, Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Thursday night doubleheader. It's Canberra who lead 53-29. Jenny, the second quarter, a huge one for the Caps.
It was indeed. They just came out and were all class, unfortunately, for the Perth Lynx. They just started the game really well, but then just fell away about the 4-minute mark into that first quarter, and then it hasn't been smooth sailing for them on either end of the court. But the UC Caps, credit to them, they're playing some exceptional basketball.
27-10, Perth were outscored in that second quarter. So the final schedule, it's worthwhile now that we can take the chance to jump ahead and have a look at what the finals is going to look like in Chemist Warehouse WNBL. Coverage starting from 6 o'clock, semi-final number 1 next Wednesday, and coverage starting from 8 o'clock with the second game as well. First versus second, third versus fourth. It's a different looking setup we've got this year.
This is exciting because some of these games, especially semi-final 2 and then the premium, they're just quarterfinals. You're done. There's no game 3 and best of 3. It's just you've got to bring your best on that game, and you know they're the exciting ones because maybe perhaps Southside Flyers have that off game on one of these, or someone else like the Melbourne Boomers come out flying. So I'm excited. That's what we're here for, is these championship games.
And the finals all start as we see there Wednesday, and then next Sunday coverage starting at 2:30 p.m. The Chemist Warehouse WNBL 20 Grand Final. At one stage we didn't even know if we were going to get there. We're very excited to bring you the Grand Final next Sunday. Let's go to courtside. Megan Huswaite is there for our Chemist Warehouse WNBL doubleheader on Thursday night. Megan, it was a really good quarter for the Capitals, that one.
It sure was. Thanks to the Caps who let me in to listen in at halftime. Really interesting just to absorb the change room. It's really calm, and that's certainly the atmosphere and the energy that Coach Paul Gora sets. We know they are back-to-back champions, the Caps, but there's some new players in this side. Britt Smart, who we spoke to at halftime, that experience off the bench. Hannah Kaiser, great to see her get a run in the second quarter. And of course, Jade Melbourne. The focus for Canberra in the second half will be talking behind the ball. Paul Gora said that helps build trust defensively, something that will be crucial not only in this game, on Sunday in a bit of a finals preview against the Southside Flyers, but heading into a new look finals campaign starting next week.
Thank you, Megan, and we'll look forward to seeing you right across the second half and into game number 2 as well between the Flames and the Flyers. So Kelsey Griffin and Maddie Rocci. Jenny, you spoke about both of them in the lead up to tonight's game. Maddie Rocci
tonight with mates, that's all good. Can't nobody drink and drive, that is all bad. Call out your mates, then call a cab. Put them on public transport or let them sleep on your couch, they'll owe you one. Drink driving is all bad. This is Chemist Warehouse WNBL. We're a minute away from tip-off. Second half. UC Caps 53, Perth Lynx 29, Benny. What does that put us on target for, you reckon?
I think that's on track for Big Max.
On track for Big Max. Hey, that's nice. That's what you did there. It's a little bit of a on track for Big
Third quarter from Katie Ray. I think she's been really quiet in the first half. Hasn't had that many opportunities and looks at the rim herself, and it would be nice to see. She had a couple in that second quarter that just didn't drop her way, but would love to see her get some more opportunities. She's 1 of 6 at the moment. And then also, obviously, off the bench, they need a bit more punch. They've only got 1 point off the bench thus far this game, and just better shot selections. Less turnovers. They got 8 for the first half, but better shot selections and get to the rack. Penetrate, try and get into the foul count with the UC Caps and get some easy points that way.
Gee, they look really switched on, don't they, Canberra? For a team that is leading by 24, one eye, I guess you couldn't help towards Sunday against the Flyers, but they look really, really in the zone for this one.
I mean, when you're up by, as much as they are, it's easy to be calm and not have much nerves and just play with freedom. But I love the way Coach Goris and his staff, and Kristen Veal and the other assistant, Carly Wilson, have done a great job. For me, I think Paul Goris has been the coach of the year.
Yep.
I think UC Caps are going to be the team that really, truly pushes, and I don't think they've hit their peak yet, but they've shown against the Southside Flyers what they're capable of in terms of scouting, structure, and how to beat them. So it's going to be exciting on Sunday and for the finals to come.
Underway for the third period. Sharp looking to find Garvin. She did.
That was a beautiful pass there out of the pocket, especially on the backdoor cut there from Garvin.
A promising start for Perth with the first points, and again they take the basketball down low, which is what Ryan Petrick's been asking for, and Canberra do exactly the same up the other end through Kelsey Griffin.
That was a great job by Abby Cabillo, the young point guard there from Northern Territory. Just was able to absorb the wall up from Darcy Garvin on the pick and roll, but found Kelsey Griffin, her veteran teammate, down low for the easy bucket.
And Sharp, 2 very good young players going head-to-head. Sharp and Melbourne, but the help D from Froling was important. And the Caps cavalry arrives. Cabillo is doubled up, which means that someone's free, but good hands. Chibatoni did enough, and Ebzery in the open court. It started with Chibatoni, and she can't finish it off. Garvin came crashing in. Griffin, nicely played. As Rochi, hard work, got herself underneath Kayla Steindl, fitted through a gap that wasn't there.
Just courage from Maddie Rochi is how I define her this season. Nothing seems difficult for her. She finds a way and gets herself to the rack quite easily, and great job with her finishing too. I don't think guards across the board have done a great job with her finishing, but Maddie Rochi, credit to her in terms of her ability to not only get to the rim and the foul line, but to be able to finish as well. Her plus-minus percentage for this game is 21.
21. Averages 15 points for the season, leads the Capitals in that stat. She's got 16 for the night. 5 rebounds and 4 assists as well. Garvin, good take. She's got an extra coming as well.
There you go, and it came because there was a little bit of a mismatch there. You saw Maddie Rochi had to defend the taller Darcy Garvin, and just that little pass to the corner and the find there allowed them to, I guess, get the chess game going a little bit with the UC Caps.
The end one is good. 58-33. Tolo starting on the bench again tonight, if you have just joined us. 3-guard, 2-forward rotation for Paul Goris up front. Griffin had her feet set. Looked good out of the hand, but was deep. Here's Alex Sharp. She's got 6 points tonight to go with her 5 rebounds. Ebzery had to fight hard for some space, and even then, looked at the official, she thought she was fouled.
Tough shot there by Katie Ray to find a way to the bucket.
Griffin took the contact and played on. Rochi had a good look, it's in and out. Ebzery, every time the basketball gets in her hands, she attracts a crowd. That time she got some isolation and she was able to finish on Jade Melbourne.
Here we go, a couple of buckets, stringing them together as Katie Ray, and a little bit of a punch screen there on the wing from Alex Sharp, I should say, and allows Katie Ray that nice shot.
Kelsey Griffin. That stroke is working beautifully. It breaks a 7-0 run that Perth were on. 60-38. Garvin, quick release 3 with a hand in the face. Rochi with the rebound and athletically lands on her feet. Assesses her options. She wanted Griffin. That's off a foot. Canberra retained possession from the baseline.
Shoot the J, girlfriend. Yeah. Shoot the J. You're stroking it tonight. Why wouldn't you take that shot and allow Kelsey Griffin to come in for the offensive rebound? Just pull up there. I mean, maybe the length of Darcy Garvin made her choose otherwise, but that's another thing Maddie Rochi is good for, especially her size, is the ability to get to the boards really well.
Good hands from Sharp. Cabillo was undersized but didn't care. She took on the challenge and stood up to it. Rochi had an eternity. Got it.
She was still looking for the pass first, which I found fascinating, considering what is she? 5 of 8, or sorry, 6 of 9 now, and 2 of 3 from deep. You've got the license, girl. Keep going.
That's the message from Jenny's screen, Maddie. Keep shooting the basketball. Steindl off target. Garvin after the sharp rebound. Steindl's got it again. Third time lucky for Ebzery.
7-point quarter here for Katie Ray in the first 5 minutes, which is nice to see. We know she averages 17, 4 and 4 on the season, and Perth Lynx, if there's any chance about getting back in this game, it's not only being able to put the ball on the rim, but also get some stops down the defensive end.
There are some key stats, 2 more for Ebzery. There are some stats that, and the differentials are glaring. Points off the bench, 20-1 tonight.
Yeah, it's a bit tough, and I guess that shows you the depth that UC Caps have compared to the youth that is, and the inexperience of the Perth Lynx. But take nothing away, perhaps, again, being down by this much and having nothing to lose. We might see a little surge here as we are, as Paul Goris calls a timeout here in the third quarter.
Yeah, just wanted to slow things down. Perth have gone on another 7-0 run. Ebzery's been crucial for them. Chibatoni's tried her heart out all season long, and it's been big for them as well. But have they just kept things a bit simpler in this third quarter? Jenny, what's different for Perth?
Yeah, good analogy there. Well, I like the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. But we'll just listen into the timeout, and I'll come back to your question.
Pick and rolls and dribble handoffs. You know, it's fine. But again, we're just changing stuff up, trying to make you fly around a little bit. We're starting now to get some activity defensively in play. Again, if it's on any side, exactly like I said before, triangle of protection, whichever way the pass goes, again, is getting manned up. And again, the big in the action here is scrambling out. The guard staying home. So the guard in the pick and roll blitz is staying home, the big scrambling out. And again, the 2 triangle players are taking the first pass. Again, into pace of play offensively. Like fly down the floor, hit them early. Scope. Good, Red.
So there's the Perth perspective, and Megan was taking a listen to Paul Goris at that timeout.
Yeah, the momentum certainly changed. Paul Goris made his side aware of that and wants them to really lock down and get their focus back here during this stretch of the third term.
It's good coaching, just take the air out of things a little bit. Looks to his bench. Michaela Roof comes on. She'll bring the energy and the intensity. She only knows one way. Mariana Tolo back out there for a bit of size too. Brittany Smart also subbed into the game. So a different look from the Caps. Foul on Taya Burrows.
A different look defensively from the Perth Lynx. Just it looks like they're in a bit of a 1-2-2 here. As Taylor Burrows just gets herself out of stance and probably doesn't close out and respect Maddie Rossi as she should, and draws a foul there.
She has 19 points, Maddie Rossi, leads all scorers. Cabillo sharing with Smart. That's her first miss from deep tonight. But Cabillo got it back and then threw it onto the foot of Garvin. That's clever.
Great job by the young guard in Abby Cabillo to be able to chase the offensive glass there and never give up on a possession, like what we like to see.
Ruth had it knocked away from her. D there from the Lynx. Eisenbarger out of control. Rocci wrestles it away. Easy layup for 2. 21 on the night. It's back to a 20-point lead once more for the Capitals. Ebzery behind the back. Good move. Falls short there. The field goal attempt. Roof on Garvin. Got baseline. A little too easy, potentially, but they swing the basketball, Canberra. Cabillo. Roof at the elbow for 2.
And they should just clip that little passage of play. Nothing fancy, just continual ball movement, continual player movement, penetration, kick, find the open player and whack. Just simple basketball, but just gets it done. I love it.
50% from the field tonight. The Capitals. Another rebound in the column for Mariana Tolo. Rocci sees a path and tried to defer to Brittany Smart. They got it back in the end. Still time on the shot clock. It's into single figures now. Smart's got Rocci. That's where she heads. 24 for Maddie Rocci. This is equal season high.
This is what we call in the zone, Jack. As is Katie Ray finding herself in this 3rd quarter. I think that's now her 11th point for this quarter.
Yeah, 15 for the game, as you say, 11 of them coming in the 3rd. She's doing all that she can. She just needs some help. There she is defensively coming up with it. Walks the tightrope of the sideline. And another 2.
Great decision there. And you talk about she just needs some help. And I think that's been the Perth Lynx all season, is that, yes, you've got Garvin and yes, you've got Ebzery, but who have you got after that? And that's the hardest thing. Yes, you do have Amy Sharp occasionally, Chiva Tony occasionally, but you don't have the consistency game in, game out like those other veterans bring.
And that's where we hate to keep bringing it up, but Sammy Whitcomb in this team, with those 2, it's a pretty lethal trio.
Yeah, indeed. But, you know, family comes first, and she's just welcomed her first child into this world after being in the WNBA and flying home early there. And it's all part of life, I guess, and she'll be back in the league next year for sure.
Let's get to Megan courtside.
The coach and the co-captain having a chat here on the Canberra bench. Kelsey Griffin preparing to come back on.
Yeah, her minutes have been worth watching all season long, Megan. It's a good point that you raise. Averaging 22 minutes for the season, which is 5th or 6th out of all Canberra players. She spoke about the need to have an off-season and that she needed to freshen up.
Yeah, absolutely. But with a season like this in 5 weeks and the amount of games they do, 3 to 4, however many around, you know, that's, I think, where UC Caps have been critical, because come the finals, they probably won't rotate as much. But when you've got 8 players that are only playing around an average around 24 minutes a game, that just reaps, I think, positivity for me, because that allows them in the finals to go, you know, to the plays that they need to, and they won't be fatigued.
If it's a quick fix, we'll fix it. If not, we'll just leave it. Done. Excellent. Thank you.
And I suppose even for Sunday against the Flyers, that's a bit of a dress rehearsal, isn't it, for what could come in the finals?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. Do you show your cards, or
I was
do you
going
keep
to ask
them in
you
your
that.
back pocket? And just, you know,
Coach Screen, what do you do?
If the table's already set, depends on how the Boomers go. We obviously know that the UC are probably going to run away with this one. But yeah, what do you do? Do you trial and error a few things? Do you try and smoke and mirrors? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. I have to tune in on Sunday.
Do you think, so we've spoken about their starting lineup tonight. Tolo has to start against the Flyers, doesn't she?
She was exceptional in their round 2 when they beat them, and then they were outstanding against Liz and their high-low action, especially when Southside, we know that they like to switch because they have the luxury, because they have the calibre of players, but you can also punish that as well, and I thought Paul Gloris did an exceptional job of that when they came away with the win early on in the season.
Kelsey Griffin at the line. 10-7 in their loss against Townsville on Sunday. Tonight's a bigger output. That's 15 points to go with her 7 rebounds. Steindl baseline. Shares it with Clark. The shot was a bit rushed. It was a good move, but probably had more time than what she realised. Cabillo quickly to Tolo. Perth tried to double up, which meant that Froling was wide open. Good work there from Clark. Snatched it away from Mariana Tolo. Come up to the last minute. Chibatoni, head down to the basket. She's short. Smart behind the back. Griffin didn't quite read the signals.
Love the smile.
Turn it over.
Love the smile, though. You know, it's fun to be a bit creative and stuff, and probably a little bit of miscommunication there. And as they give each other a little smile and go, "My bad, no, my bad." But you can do that when you're 23 points up. That's for sure.
There's Jessie Edwards, who's back in. Kayla Steindl will sit down. Ebzery remains out there. She's under pressure from Griffin. How did she make that happen? She lost it, she got it back, she lost it again, and then when she found it, she put it in.
That's called being persistent.
That's it. Griffin, big drive. Stay there from Eisenberger, now Ebzery. Changed her mind a couple of times. In the end, didn't really make a decision either way. Cabillo dives on the loose ball.
Yeah, I would have loved to see, I don't know who was running the wing there, but just to space it out, you know, there may have been a pass, but just take Keely Froling out of the action. That's probably the youth and the inexperience of the Perth Lynx player there, but just drift into the corner. Allow Katie Ray, the veteran of the team, to give her the floor and open up, and then she can pull up, get to the rack one-on-one, rather than taking your defender into her there. But, you know, youth and experience, you'll learn that as you go along.
Ebzery, 19 points. She leads the Perth Lynx tonight. She's led them all year long. So last play of the third quarter. Griffin left almost unattended. They sit off Froling. They go down low to Tolo. Bread and butter stuff from the Capitals to finish off the quarter. Tolo has 8 points, 5 rebounds as well, and Canberra lead at three-quarter time, 75-52. The margin extends to 23 points.
Next week. If you're looking for a day out tomorrow, head up to Cairns We've got a double header in Cairns tomorrow night, Melbourne and Bendigo, followed by the JCU Townsville Fire taking on Adelaide. That game tips off at 7 o'clock at the Cairns Pop-Up Arena tomorrow night. Come up and join us for that one. And then on Sunday, it's the triple header to wrap us up at midday. The JCU Townsville Fire takes on the Melbourne Boomers. Then at 2 o'clock, the UC Capitals and the Southside Flyers. And our final game of the season before we hit the finals, 4 o'clock on Sunday, the Sydney Uni Flames taking on the Adelaide Lightning. That'll wrap us up for the season. And then we kick off the finals Wednesday night. 2 games, the semi-finals at 5 and 7. WNBL.basketball/tickets for all your ticketing information.
The game and lost.
Credit of the Queensland government and to the WNBL and Basketball Australia, we have found a way, and it's easy for us to sit here and complain and whinge about what's not right about the league and who's not playing well, but the fact is we're on, and we're on. Every game is either streamed or on live TV, and that's the exciting part, and these girls are getting an opportunity even though it's only for such a short season.
Definitely agree with all of that. Megan, have you had a chance to get to the waterfalls?
No, not the waterfalls, just been feeding the crocs, to be honest. But as Greenie said, we are on, and so are the veterans to start this final term. Mariana Tolo and Kelsey Griffin out there for the Caps. No Talia Tapea tonight. We know she hurt her shoulder on Sunday against Townsville. I spoke to her before the game. She's hopeful she'll be back for finals, so she has been a key recruit for them this year. We hope to see her in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a little bit of vision of her warming up tonight. We were watching that warm up, and well, judging from that, she was never really a chance.
No, there's not much movement going on in that left arm, that's for sure. But she's been critical for them in terms of their first 4 rounds. And like Megan said, I hope she's back in the light baby blue come finals time.
Nice move there from Alex Sharp. She's got 8 points on 4 of 7. Up next, it's the Flames and the Flyers in our Thursday night doubleheader. The Flyers have been in sensational form at the moment. And the Flames, well, they came up with the win on Sunday against Bendigo. Chibatoni defers out to Kayla Steindl. She's off target. So how does Paul Goris manage minutes in the last quarter, Jenny?
Well, he's had the luxury because you've got such a big advantage all game that everyone's had pretty good rotation. He's been able to rotate off the bench. We've had, 4 players come in, and you'll probably see Delaney probably hit the court as well, and Kaiser probably get some more opportunity as the clock wears down, and that's really important. Giving these young girls some opportunity experience, and after these veterans run out the last couple of minutes here and get their rest to prepare for Sunday.
It's Griffin. Has 8 rebounds. She's been doing some good work defensively. Tolo has been money from that range tonight.
Yeah, she's definitely brought that to a game and has been money there for quite a few seasons now. I wouldn't leave her open there. That's probably her range, maybe a little bit closer to the 3-point line, but definitely money when she gets it there and she's open.
Ebsary drives and is fouled.
It's probably not the 300 game that you'd hope for in this league, but have to be big shout out for Katie, because I've watched her play for the Lynx the last couple of seasons and last year, and she's taken a big leadership role this year as she did last year. But last year perhaps she would have just hidden away and got frustrated and not pushed into the second half. But this year for sure, and it's hard when you're in a losing team. Really hard not to get frustrated and angry, but she's continued to push, and I think that's been the big difference from last season to this season, that she's been able to just continue and push her own game.
Rio Olympian, Commonwealth Games gold medalist from 2018 as well.
Fellow Novocastrian as well from
Newcastle. Of course,
Newcastle.
yeah. I should never forget that, should I? I knew you wouldn't let me forget it. Smart. Her Rangers deserted her a little bit in the second half, but Froling kept it alive for the Capitals. Shot clock at 7. Griffin, catch. Canberra get it back again. 20-point lead. Cabillo's been so good sharing the basketball tonight. I'm sure she'd love to get on the board herself. Smart fires away. Offensive rebound once more for the Capitals. This time it's tipped away from Tolo, though. Ebzery stripped. Good hands from Griffin, who's in no rush initially. Canberra happy to absorb some time off the clock. And Tolo posting up on Garvin. Got inside. She can't make it happen. So we're going up and back and up and back, and neither team can convert. Garvin with the long-range three. He's deep as well.
And apart from the inexperience off the bench of the Perth Lynx, and that's probably what was the deciding factor in that first quarter, as soon as they went into the rotations, they went from a lead to a deficit. But that's, apart from that defensive that we saw that's just lackluster at the moment, it's down the other end. Like, they're just one pass and jacking it up, and that's not the way that I'm sure their coach would like them to play. It's options like that. Pick and roll action. Get into a two-person game on the wing and allow Darcy Garvin to use her size and length there, or Katie Ray, get her into a pick and roll, rather than this one pass, jack it up kind of stuff that I get really angry at if you can't understand the tone of my voice, Jen.
Stop banging the desk.
I'm going to throw it in a minute.
It'll fall over. Tolo sits down. Kayla Roof back in. Darcy Garvin at the free throw line. 15 points, make that 16. To go with 7 rebounds. She goes 2 from 2. Another member of the Opal squad. It's a big 2021. We spoke to Sandy Brondello a couple of weeks ago on the coverage, and it's going to be one hell of a job trying to find the final 12 of that squad.
It's always, you know, something that you don't like as a coach is picking that final 12, but I'm sure she's probably got her main 8 that you could probably consider, as Maddie Rocci is one that will probably be pushing for attention the way she's playing tonight, but will take every opportunity as it comes. But, you know, it's those last kind of 4 positions, and to be honest, they're crucial as well, because you've got your stars, but is she all right? I hope
Kayla
she's
Roof's
okay.
It's a hard landing. Let's have a look on the replay. Chibatoni got a lot of ball.
Yeah, a lot of ball.
The official shared that view, but it's the landing there.
She's all right. I think she was just disappointed she left the ball out for Chibatoni to get a hand to it. But for Sandy Brondello, we go back to it. It's going to be those four last positions that are going to be crucial, and you've got to pick good players in terms of not only their skill, but role players as well. Are they going to be happy to provide and be the glue for the team, and maybe perhaps not play a lot of minutes, but be just as vital as the players that are playing the 25, 30 minutes a game? It's going to be interesting.
It sure will be, yeah. And it's fantastic that she's here at the moment watching.
Yeah.
It shows her commitment to the task and how big next year is for the Opals with the Olympics, the rescheduled Olympics. Meanwhile, for Maddie Rocci, that is a season high for her now with 27 points. Eisenbarger looking for Burrows. Flash to the basket.
Love it. Nice little back cut, getting a defense who's probably just napping a little bit there on the weak side and distracted by the penetration. Great cut.
And then the hands were good defensively as well. Looks like she's headed to college next year, Taya Burrows. Things just got put on pause a little bit. She was certainly attracting a lot of attention from good schools as well, Division 1 schools.
And that's the frustrating thing with a lot of our juniors who have signed to go overseas. You know, we talked before, Megan Huswaite's brought up Gemma Potter, who's filling in for a manager's role. She unfortunately is, along with Izzy Anstey, was meant to be in UCLA and playing at one of the best universities in the country, and is sitting here waiting, and the season's already started, and my heart, you know, breaks for those girls that they aren't able to go whilst other players are able to go and partake in the season. It's going to be an interesting couple of years to really understand the effects of COVID and what it's going to do to our sport.
And that's the thing that made it challenging for Gemma and Izzy as well, is that they could have potentially played in this league, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, I suppose. Turnover there from the Capitals. Ebzery just keeps on keeping on, but she couldn't finish off her good work. Smart's got Froling on the trail and finds her. Good ID. She timed her run to perfection there, Keely Froling. She has 11 points. Let's go to Megan Huswaite courtside.
Well, with the game pretty much won here for Canberra, Griffin and Tolo are taking a rest, and Delaney and Tyre coming in for their first minutes of the night. So the Caps would be very happy with the situation they're in right now.
Yeah, they would. And now Britt Smart and Froling will come to the end of the bench too. There's Gemma Potter, we see, the team manager. (84-61), Ash Tyre into the game late. Good to see Paul Goris giving her an opportunity. She's picked up the foul. 84-61 as Ash Eisenbarger comes to the line. Back playing in WA this season. Spent 4 years as a Boomer. Some might remember her as Ash Grant prior to getting married. She's been very handy for Perth this season.
Nice little 1-2-2 press there out of the foul shots for the Perth Lynx, just disrupting the UC offense up the court and almost causing a turnover.
Now Maddie Rochi's night is done. We just saw Alex Delaney out there in the thick of the action. And Paul Goris calls a timeout with 3 minutes and 25. Maddie Rochi, 27 points. Season high night for her. Good time to be doing it as well on the eve of finals.
Oh. 5 rebounds and 5 assists as well.
Yeah.
Switching with everybody at the point of the screen. So we need to have some sting in our switches. So we switch flat with an aggressive hand. We're still pushing to the baseline, okay? We need to go now. You're our low post presence. So you're like moving high-low. Any of you three set screens, pick, pop. Look to shoot it. If not, kick it to the next action. As soon as you pass it, dive it. So we're just in space, motion and movement. But we've got to have cutters going through. We've got to have ball reversal and an attack of second touches. Okay, we've got to get stops here. Here we go.
You see
that?
So they're not taking their foot off the pedal.
No, these are the minutes where you have the luxury of being able to just be able to call the timeouts and run some stuff, explore some things, and continue to put the foot on the neck or the throttle, as they say, and really ride this one home in these last 3 minutes.
So we had a listen to Canberra, and Megan had a little wander over to the Perth huddle.
I did. Perth wanting to finish their season, the final 3 minutes of WNBL 20 on a positive note. They are heading home tomorrow to make sure they're all home and free for Christmas in WA. It has gone quick, as Alex Cipollone told us before the game, but to put things in perspective, when Kayla Steindl got to Queensland with her baby Noah, before the season started, he wasn't walking, he was crawling, and he's now running. So that sums up this season in a hot minute.
That sure does.
It's crazy to think that, what, less than 6 weeks ago, it was the start of the season, and now it's just been wham bam, and we're at the pointy end already. But I haven't mind this layout and this structure and this hub model. We've been able to saturate the market and have some great games and not so great games, but all in all, it's been nice to see just women's basketball.
There's something for the Caps to smile about. Hannah Kaiser knocks down the three in her first season as a Capital. You love that. Comes on, makes the most of her opportunity. There's Alex Delaney getting a late look at this game as well with the big rebound. Only 13 points for the season coming into tonight, Hannah Kaiser. She was open there. Delaney decided to go herself. That's a party for the Capitals.
I love it. I love it when the bench get on and ride on the confidence of the lead that their teammates have been able to establish and get themselves into the game. It's really nice to see that they have that confidence.
So it's only now Ash Taya. Ebsary continues on her merry way. And Abby Cabillo, who haven't scored tonight for the Caps. Here's Roof. Here's Taya. Oh, it rattles in and out.
Got to get excited about something. I mean, it's a pretty big margin here.
That's off the foot of Kaiser. Oh, no. There's Jewel Williams, 19-year-old. Another Perth, or WA product, I should say, from Paulsbrook. There's Jessie Edwards coming into the game, 89-66. I won't be able to fill up the stat sheet. Cabillo's not out there at the moment. Kaiser wide open in the corner, had her hand up for a long time. Roof attracts the crowd and still forces it in.
That was a great find by Kaiser, but just an even better finish by the big girl down low. Had about 3 wall-ups around her and a nice little underarm left-hand finish there.
And the steal from Melbourne. Too quick, too smart, too good. That's theft. Jewel Williams got to the basket. Got fouled on the way through. There's Jade Melbourne laying it up with the left hand nonchalantly. One of your favourites she is, Megan Huswaite, Jade Melbourne.
From the heyday of the AFL, when the security come out, it's only a few minutes to go in the game. You often see that at the MCG, but in the hub, the countdown is when the cleaners come out to come and sanitise the chairs when it's a double header. So they're heading out with the Glad 20 now in their masks to the benches, so we know there can't be too long to go in this one.
Oh, just another reminder of the year that it is.
Oh, our new normal, whatever that looks like, hey?
That's it. Good rebound there from Jessie Edwards. She'll get to the stripe. Was a development player last year with the Lightning, but back playing for her home state this season. She goes 0 from 2. Emma Clark was in the right place. And Shea Williams getting some minutes late. It's got a bit sloppy for the Lynx. It's Kaiser on the left wing. Delaney will step back with a hand in the face. Nice block from Williams. Good play late in the game for her. Roof throws it up.
Yeah.
You can't be knocking that down.
You can if the UC Caps, and you've got 96 points now on the board.
That's it didn't appear on the playbook, but who cares?
Yeah, 42% from long or from deep 11 of 26 for the game. Let's have a look at that on the replay. Yeah. A little left-hand Hail Mary, if you do not mind. Thank you very much.
And Edwards rolled to the basket. Got contact on the way through. This will be the Capitals' highest score of the year. They put 95 on the board in their win over Southside. But 96 tonight eclipses that. So Melbourne will wind down the clock. Delaney fires away and misses. It's another win on the board for the Capitals. And they continue their pursuit of going back to back to back. And they were too good tonight for the Perth Lynx. Final score, 96-69. It's a big, big win tonight for the Canberra Capitals.
It was a huge game for the Canberra Caps, Jack, especially when you 38 points off the bench and Tolo bringing that home with 12, and then Ruth behind her with 11 and 7 rebounds. A great all-round effort from the UC Caps tonight.
Yeah, they shared the load, they shared the minutes, and it's a good luxury for Paul Goris to be able to have tonight, to manage those minutes that we've spoken about a lot in the game, but also give everyone a look, give everyone an opportunity. And you just never know in finals what situations can be thrown up. You can call on anyone.
Exactly, and that's the exciting thing about this group, and I think they're really embracing each other, and it was good to see them this week and just recently with Paddy Mills Foundation, the Australian Indigenous Basketball League, going out and doing some work with the locals, which is exciting. They're giving back, they're paying it forward to the future, and providing them with hope. And Abby Cabillo's a definite example of that, coming from the Northern Territory, an Indigenous girl herself, and showing it that it is possible.
Mariana Tolo, the co-captain, just addressing the group there. One more game to come in the regular season for Canberra. They'll play the Southside Flyers on Sunday. And that may very well be first versus second at the end of the season. Massive night for Maddie Rocci tonight. 27 points, career high numbers, and she's season high numbers, I should say, and she's with Megan Huswaite.
She sure is. Maddie, I'm not sure what you guys enjoyed more, winning that game out there or the starters watching on in the final minutes and Ruth hitting that massive shot. You guys have so much fun and there's plenty to smile about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we knew coming into this game that Perth are a great side and we didn't want to look at their win-loss record. We knew that we had to come out with the intensity of the defensive end, and to be able to put your bench players on at the end and watch them play and do everything they can for the team is really good for us.
Really solid defensive performance, but on offense it was your highest score of the year, a good sign running into finals.
Yeah, I mean, our defense definitely started that game. We talk about that all the time, starting with that defensive pressure. So we knew coming out in that, the start of that game at the get-go was definitely the defense. So for us to do that tonight and get the job done leading into the game against Southside was what we really wanted tonight.
Season high numbers from yourself, a great game tonight. I wanted to know, you're probably the only player in the WNBL that's come into this hub season off the back of an MVP win in the Queensland State League. Do you feel that that's been what's helped your form in WNBL 20?
Yeah, I mean, it was really good to be able to play in that QSL season at the end of this year. So to be able to do that and then lead into this game with the training that I had definitely has helped me into this season this year.
I'm going to let you go. You've got Southside on Sunday. They are literally circling you right now, about to warm up. So for your well-being, Maddie, we're going to let you go.
Thank you so much.
Congrats tonight.
Thank
See you
you
on Sunday.
See ya.
Maddie Rocci, our MVP for this evening. So 96-69 the final score. Both teams shot the ball reasonably well. Outside the arc, though, is where Canberra excelled tonight, Jenny. 11 of 27.
Yeah, they did an exceptional job, I think, across the board to be able to shoot it, almost close to 50% for the game, especially at this late part of the season, considering how many games they've played, shows the caliber of talent they are. But for me, turnovers, 16 turnovers for the Perth Lynx just doesn't cut it at this level. They've got to look after the ball a little bit more, but credit where credit's due for the UC Caps. They were just too good against the Perth Lynx tonight.
Let's go back to Megan. She's got the Caps coach, Paul Goris.
I do have the Caps coach, your highest score of the season tonight, Gori. You'd be pleased with that performance.
Yeah, it was like really great to put that score on the board. We knew Perth were going to be a tough opponent. You know, where they took us to like one shot of winning when we were in Cairns, and so we need to come in prepared. But also I thought the girls did a great job of sharing the basketball and finding open shooters.
Well, you shared it across the board in terms of minutes, some really important minutes into your bench players, but I guess the scoring load was shared as well, headlined by Maddie Rocci.
Yeah, Rocci's been great and really consistent all season, and she finds ways to score, whether it's through a penetration or teammates find her on the ball a little bit more and find open shooters and find ways to get the ball inside, and just really happy that we had a green light. Go away, Leilani.
We're in the middle of Southside warming up now. Good evening to Sarah Blitzarves with a finger in Paul Goris' ear. Southside on Sunday, you can flat out think about them now, and you get a good look at them in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, obviously they're the yardstick with where they are, like playing-wise, they're playing great at the moment. I think they're 5 or 6 wins on the trot, and it's going to be, you know, a huge game for us leading into finals and playoffs, because, you know, one of us is going to like see each other, whether it's in the knockout semi or the 3-4, and so it sets the stage for a really exciting, I guess, final series meeting them on Sunday.
You're not trying to take the underdogs tag here, are you, Gori?
I think I am against Southside at the moment, yeah. I think we're better underdogs than what we are in front, so I'll take the underdog.
Well, on your gods, says Sarah Blitzarves. The Flyers girls are giving it to him, so we'll let you go and watch them. Congrats
Thank
tonight.
you.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you. Thanks.
You just can't trust Sarah Blitzarves anywhere near a camera this season, can we?
No, you cannot, but you can trust the UC Caps and the depth of talent that they have, and they were on mark tonight, especially led by Maddie Rocci with 27 points and 5 rebounds and 4 assists to go with that. But Katie Ray was exceptional in that second half as well. Pretty quiet in the first, didn't get many looks, but she came to play and also finished with a game-high 24 points for the Perth Lynx in their loss.
What they were able to do, particularly in that second quarter where they outscored Perth 27-10, Jenny, and with the 3 guards, is when they change the pace of the game and they shift the ball up the floor quickly, they're a very hard team to catch.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate they didn't continue to go with that kind of makeup, what their coach wanted, and keep finding those targets inside against the smaller matchups against the UC Caps. But they'll live and they'll learn. They've got unexperienced players, and their rotation hurt them a little bit compared to the UC Caps and the quality of bench players they have. But, you know, this is a growing pains for the Perth Lynx, and they'll come back next season bigger, stronger, and hopefully better.
So that will see the end of Perth and their season. They finish off with a record of 4 wins and 9 losses. And for Canberra, one game to come, as we mentioned. They move to 9-3 on the season, with the potential to finish 10-3 with a win against the Flyers on Sunday. But tonight, big winners, 96-69, the final score in Townsville.